Thank you, Zyong. Can you hear me all right? Can one person confirm?
Yes.
Perfect. So moving on from very small world of Xeon into from quantum to macro world, CFD. So this is a very basic module that I prepared. My name is Rooh Khurram. The intent of this module is actually to make it very easy for people to start using Shaheen for CFD. Typically, it is designed for people who know CFD, and I just want their transition to be very fast and robust. So that's the intent behind preparing this module. So if I move, okay. Before I go into the details, so let me give a very, very quick overview of CFD services that we are providing for our users, not only Gauss user, but all users in the kingdom. So we do basic support, which is basically maintaining and upgrading software and test cases. The intent is that the burden of installing and maintaining should not be on the users. We'll take care of that, and we'll provide you test cases. So you just run simple test cases. And while I'm talking, I mean, you can interject and you can ask questions. And it will be good if I hear something and then I can move the discussion toward that direction. Otherwise, I'll be just talking to myself. So we provide basic and advanced and intermediate training. We maintain a helpline. So if you have any CFD question, just like I'm in cfdonline.com, we maintain a CFD helpline. Just shoot an email, we'll provide you the answer. It may not necessarily be related to Shaheen. It could be anything on CFD. We do CFD consulting. You can see a QR code here. Any in-kingdom researcher, university professor, student, or industry practitioner can open a project for us, and we can provide you consulting services. Just use the QR code and fill out the form, and we'll get back to you on that. We run ANSYS workshop series. We have a CFD user group meetings. That is not only CAUST group meetings. There are many people from outside CAUST come and attend. And then we have student certifications also. Okay, a bit about this specific module. I'll just very quickly give you an overview of our application that are on Shaheen. I'll describe a typical CFD workflow. I mean, I'm talking to people who know CFD, but I'm also talking to people who are not CFD expert, and then they want to use, let's say, MATLAB, they want to use Gaussian. So some of the problem that I'm going to discuss are common to them. Interactivity, how to convert interactivity into batch mode. So these type of things will be discussed. And then I have a bunch of CFD example cases. So what I decided was that rather than giving you theoretical information, I'll just give you a hands-on session on these examples. Even if you have not understood all the things that my colleagues explained, you can actually just go through this these examples and play with it yourself. And all of the material, all the Shaheen user can find this all material from this location. So you better need to have Shaheen account, and you just download this tarball, and then you'll off you go. You'll get started. So in this process, there will be a lot of discussions about can I use this software or not? Is it only for certain group? Is it only for cost? Some things will be discussed as we move on. So far, so good. So as my colleagues mentioned, there are a bunch of applications that are already available on Shaheen. I'm going to just talk briefly about some of CFD applications that are commonly used by our users. Fluent is a very, very common example. Converge is a very common example among engine designers. OpenPhone is very popular for people who don't want to spend money on commercial codes and then want to do some development by using OpenPhone. Deal2 is yet another platform where you develop your codes. Of course, you need some meshing tools. So on Shaheen, you have ANSYS available. All the meshing tools of ANSYS are available, Space and other things. Of course, once you're done with the computation, you need to look at results. There are some commercial softwares that are available, and then there are some free software that are available on Shaheen. So TechPlot is available, Visit, Paravian, and Insights are available. So this constitute a typical ecosystem of CFD on Shaheen. Of course, if you have your own customized code, you can install it in your project, or you can ask us to install some code that is widely used by community, and we will install it for you. All right, that is how you interact with a supercomputer for CFD workflow. So let me turn on okay, yeah. I'm talking to people who are very happy doing CFD on their workstations. They have a typical way of doing things, but when you try to transition to a supercomputer, your life will change. Now, the benefit of that change will come a little later, but the pain will start immediately. So let's go through it slowly, and I'll give you examples how to handle it. And I'll explain you how we are trying to make that transition extremely easy for you. So your typical pre-processing starts from your workstation. You build a model, solid model, using whatever CAD tool that you want to use, and then you put a mesh on it, set up your boundary conditions, and that's your model. Now you're going to copy this model on Shaheen using SCP or any other tool that you prefer. On Shaheen, you are going to run this model using any code, any CFD code through a job scheduler, Slurm job schedule. Xiong and Mohsen explained about it. I'll give you some hands-on examples on that. You will do all your computation. You run your transport equation, material model, physical model, turbulence, laminar, whatever, fluid structure interaction. Now your data is in the form of, your results are in the form of data, massive data in case of CFD. You have two options now. Either you post-process your results on Shaheen while the data is there, but you're limited to post-processing through batch mode. I'll give you some examples on that. Or you copy your data back to your workstation and post-process here. So if you are beginning to have your first interaction with supercomputer, you really need to understand this thing. Otherwise, there'll be a lot of problems, and then you lose your faith. And then you'll say, well, that's not for me. I do not want that to happen. Ask questions, contact us if you get stuck anywhere. Okay, that's it. That's all I wanted to say. Now I'm going to go and start doing some hands-on exercises for you. What you have to do, if you have your account on Shaheen and you want to do the session with me, you can do it at a later point also. Just log into Shaheen, go to your Scratch. Remember, on project, you cannot run anything now. So you have to go to your Scratch, and I mean, Xiong's advice is extremely useful. Even I forget sometimes my data on Scratch to copy it on project, and then I might lose it. Don't make that mistake, because some of this data can be reproduced very quickly again, but some of it is code development, some test case development. You don't want to lose that data. So bring back data from Shaheen. But for now, just go to your Scratch and then run this command. You're basically untarring a tarball that I placed over there, and that's just go to that folder. So far, so good. If you do this thing, you will land here. Let me increase the fonts. Anybody can speak up or tell me he cannot see, or I think
It's good if you can copy the command to the chat box so that we can do that as well.
Oh, okay. That's a good advice. Can one of my colleagues do that? Or okay, let me do that.
But remember, you won't be able to copy paste it from chat box.
Yes, but again, at least they can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, chat is here, and then here it is. Off you go. All right. So far so good. Let me go back to this. Let me set the fonts. I'm looking at my other computer also. I still want it even more bigger, actually. My eyes are okay. I think that is fine. All right, let's do ls. So I have prepared 7 cases for you. Converge, Fluent, OpenPhone, ParaView, TechPlot, and I will give you some idea of strong scalability. And I have made some scripts over there. You don't have to do much. You just have to run one script and it will do the job for you. So again, the idea really here is to make it extremely easy for you, at least in the beginning, because once you understand these things, you will start making your own customized changes. And then the last section is actually on interactive computing through dashboard. That is what all users need. They want to use a supercomputer in interactive mode. I understand that. That's how the scientific discovery happens. But unfortunately, we cannot do it. But I have some ways of doing it, and I'll be happy to share with it. Let's go into some of these directories, and some of the commands that my friends shared I'll be repeating. And Bilal, I'm not tracking time, so just give me a 5-minute warning to stop. All right. So in this directory, you can see a standard test case. I prepared a test case for you. You just have to go there and do sbatch job.sh. It will start running. It will produce some results. You want to use post-convert to convert the results and view it in either ParaView or TechPlot. So that's standard, and there are examples there. And I've prepared another example for creating a user-defined function and compile it for you. So it's very simple. So let's go into this directory, and I have provided you a simple commands, and then you can just go through these commands and you will get this user-defined library as SO file, and you will be able to run your UDF there. Let's go to test case. Sorry. Now, I want to run this test case. What should I be doing before I do anything? Well, I need to have a job script, Shaheen job script. Okay, let's look at job script. Okay, that's straightforward. I'm using 2 nodes. I'm using it for 30 minutes, and I just put a name of this job, and that's it. I have put bunch of modules there, and currently I'm using just this version, but the idea is for you to just to know that there are so many modules, so many versions are available. You can use any of this. All you have to do is run this command, and it will start running. Now, provided you have access to convert. So this is again the discussion that one of the friends started, that well, do we have access? So these are case-to-case basis. I don't want to go into the details here. Some codes are PI based, some codes are department based, some codes are caste based, some codes are nation Saudi based. Just send us email and say, well, can we be added to this code or not? And our admins will add you if you are entitled to do that. Now, before I run that, well, I need to do, so the other files are the input files of Converge. I don't want to go into the details right now. Before I run it, I want to see, well, how Shaheen is doing right now. Well, Shaheen is doing pretty good actually right now. I have access to 3,542 nodes actually. So, well, I should start going. Let's do that. Sbatch job.sh. Okay, I'll run it. Now, what Mohsen told you to do? I want to see my status of my job. Okay, so, well, it's running. Obviously, we anticipated that it will be running because we had so many nodes available over there. So it's running good. It will write some solution files, and then you can run PostScript over there, and you visualize results. End of story, right? So far, so good. And then for your ease, I have created this script called clean. Once you run everything and you want to clean all the output file, you can just run the script and it will be clean. Okay, let's go to Fluent. Again, same story. I have created a job script for you. This is your model, the case file. affluent user very well know. I think two of our Aramco friends are in the audience, and they are really expert of Fluent. But I specifically create these modules for people like them. And yeah, Belian, you can step in and ask questions if you want more information. And this is a command. This is a file that is needed to convert to run that interactive session that you used to run on your workstation in a batch mode. That makes it happen. So I'm providing you this thing. You just run this thing, that's batch, job.sh, off you go. Now, there was another question that, well, is there any priority queue or I mean, sometimes the need is that I just want to run a small run, and I want it to run very quickly. So you can use debug queue for that. The limitations are that you can only run it for 30 minutes, if I remember correctly, and you can only use up to 2 nodes. So let's see if I can do that. It is submitted, and I can see my status of my jobs. Well, both are running good. See, Supercomputer is there to increase the performance of your workflow and also to provide huge amount of capacity. Just look at this capacity, man. Just look at it. Right now, you can run that many nodes, jobs on that. Of course, there are that you will compete for resources, but it is huge amount of resource and capacity. So Bilal knocked at my door and politely said, 5 minutes. He could have said it in front of everybody because you're friends, right? So now I've created an example for OpenPhone. So I'll just now start keep tracking of time. Again, everything is provided to you. Just run as patch job.sh. It will run for you, right? And then I have a clean script over there. It will clean out all the files once you run the case. What I want to do is actually Paraview, because these, for CFD people, the first example are straightforward. The only thing that they don't know that is that how to run it on Shaheen. I'm providing you example. Just have an account, get it, run it. It will not run it, open a ticket, and we will do the needful. Maybe you need to be added to a specific, but I don't want to bombard all these things right now on you. These examples are there, you run it, and then contact us if you get stuck anywhere. Paraview is a great example for many reasons. Well, you want to visualize your results, right? I mean, yeah, I've prepared this case, but I do not want you to launch Paraview here. I do not want you to, Xiong actually warned us that, well, don't do that. So I'll listen to Xiong. We will not do it, but we know Python, right? We can write Python scripts, and we can freeze the state of the solution that we want to run, and then we will just run it in just like a standard job. I'll run like this. That's it. It will run. It will run for some time, and then it will do all the post processing. And when the job is finished, well, it will write a JPEG file. I don't want to wait right now because running for time. But before we leave, we can go and look at the results over there. Again, there's an example for TechPlot also. Again, I prepared this again for a sedan car here. You can just simply run as patch, and once the job is finished, it will have a JPEG file, or I think, if I remember, a PS file or something, a PDF file will be there, and you can visualize it. What I want to go to talk in last 2 minutes is that scalability. Now, why it is important. Now, you have a problem. You do not know how to specify the number of cores on that. You do not know. Will it run on 1,000 cores or 20 cores, 1 million cores? What you have, beginners will have no idea. So what you do is that you take your case. This is a specific, very big case of Formula 1 car. So you take your case and your input file, put it here, and run the script. Run the script. It is going to run all the different core counts and will give you a result like this. So this will tell you, as you are increasing your number of cores, your time to solution is reducing or not? It is reducing, and you need to see that, well, is it perfectly scalable or not? And what is the appropriate core count for you? So concept of strong scalability is extremely important. All you have to do is this run command. Run this thing, everything will be launched. Everything will be launched. All these jobs are launched. And then you just, once the jobs are completed, just run this thing, and the strong scalability curve will be in front of you, right? So that's easy, and that's really important for you. Now, the last thing, but not the least thing, I have prepared a test case for you in which you're going to run a simulation, unsteady simulation, and then you will run a postscript, and it will create a movie for you. All you have to do is, what you have to do, that's it. You just do this thing. You run this thing, and once, I don't have that much time to wait, but trust me on that, once you have downloaded this thing, you run this thing, and then you will have a bunch of pictures, and then you can easily use some standard display commands like convert, and add them as a collage, and then you can visualize your results over there. I'll just stop here actually, and let's see if at least some pictures are there or not. Yes, there's one picture there, so it is post-processed automatically, and you can see the results. So again, no, I didn't violate any condition, I didn't do interactive computing, but I finished my job. So, well, I'll stop here because I'm out of time. If you have some probing question, ask. If you have some in-depth questions, you can send us email, and I'll be happy to have one-on-one questions. Any questions?